evening, Southdowns. Right before COVID hit, Yazi and I were going to start running footwork drills at practice for the fencers and the heavy fighters, along with lots of other drills for sword work and everything. But he and I had specifically been discussing footwork. Sadly, no practice. Luckily, you can practice footwork at home or wherever you might find yourself sheltering in place. All you really need is about 5 feet by 5 feet of space, but if you've got more, that's better. You don't want to be cramped. You don't want to run into walls. The longer you have, the better, because that means the longer you have to do everything. And duct tape. Most fighters I know, most Scadians I know, have duct tape. If not, you can probably order it from Amazon and it will probably be delivered within a week. I think that stuff might be considered essential. Or you can get fancy and you can order an actual exercise training plastic ladder from Amazon. Those cost about $12, but those are definitely not essential. Who knows when you'll get it? Or you get sidewalk chalk, because we're about to play hopscotch. The goal is to work on foot placement, foot agility, foot speed, and controlling your body as you do that. So with an exercise ladder, you're going to have more space between the rungs. You get a foot and a half. I've laid this grid out to 1 foot length for me, which is about a foot. That makes these really tiny spaces. Especially when I was focused on this, when I first built this grid, I was really trying to make a 6-inch step count. To have the difference between, to be able to execute this and have that much space suddenly open up. That's not, I moved my heel 6 inches, didn't move my toe at all. But that small of a difference in your foot positioning, that small of a motion in your foot, can be the difference between getting hit and not getting hit. It can be the difference between getting pegged in the face and having their sword go past your face while you stab them in the face, and then everybody thinks you're awesome because they missed by this much. I have a story about Vivian Broussard regarding that I'll tell anybody who wants to hear it someday. So if I can take that 6-inch step precisely quickly, then I can take the larger step, a 1 foot step. I can probably take that, but we're also going to train doing that, which is why we have 3 squares and not 2. So yeah, I've got 3 lanes laid out. Crossbar every 12 inches. My first 3 squares are labeled 1, 2, and 3. My next 3 are A, B, C. And then the third row is X, Y, Z. This is just to discuss some of the footwork patterns that I'm going to demonstrate. Back when I was first laid this out, I just made a chart up on a whiteboard right here. This is much easier to look at and remember what you're supposed to be doing than actually trying to remember it. Write it down where you can see it. It will always, the physical world will remember it better than you do. So when you do this and you've done a bunch of cycles of these footwork drills, you're short on breath, to be able to look up and go, all right, I'm supposed to do this one, rather than trying to remember, which one am I supposed to do, which one am I supposed to do? It takes out the mental load, it makes your practice smoother, faster, more effective, and it lets you focus on the important things like moving smoothly and precisely. The way you train that, the way you train precision and speed, is to train slowly. If I start trying to do something as fast as I can from day one, I'm going to do it wrong. I'm going to do it wrong a lot of times. and I'm not going to learn how to do it right. So if I want to do, 2, 2, B, B, Y, Y, I go and I do it. Great, that's easy enough. No, backwards, because we don't just advance, we retreat. And I built that up. So I need to slow down. I need to make sure I'm doing this precisely and smoothly. So here we are, going slowly now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. And do it again. Repetition. And don't speed up, because then you'll fail. The instant you fail, you're going too fast, slow it down. That applies for all drills. If you're doing antagonistic, I throw, you block, I counter into an open spot, and I'm missing, I am going too fast. Or if we're trying to set it up so that I'm learning how to land that shot, and you're depriving me of that shot, you're not giving a big enough opening, you're blocking too quickly, whatever. If the drill is failing to actually train the effect the right way, train doing it the right way, you're wasting your time. So go slow, go precise, train doing it the right way, and then you can train doing it faster, and then you can train doing it faster and faster and faster. But the instant you get imprecise, you back it down. Then you train from there. It goes for footwork drills, sword drills, everything. So yeah, that's why I've got small actions here. That's why I've got this grid laid out the way it is. You go forward, you go backwards. Anything you do to the right, you do to the left. So one of the ones that I default to, and I'll explain this in a little while, is 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1. So I'm going to come over here and do 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Nope, started on the wrong foot. Got to be on the right foot from this side. 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. And then we go forward. C, 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 B, C, A, C, B, C, C, Z, 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 Y, Z, X, Z, Y, Z, Z. And however long I've got, if I've got 30 feet of this, I'll go for 30 feet. Because repetition builds muscle memory. If I've only got 6 feet, I'll go for 30 feet. I'll just have to come back and do this 5 times. So the more space you have, the better. This is my basement. When we were looking for a house, my wife showed me the basement, which has this and a bar, and then the back porch, which is screened in and has a nice little hanging chair for us to sit in. And I'm sure there's a rest of the house. That's the part that sold me. Because I have a fencing salon and a place that I can do this no matter what the weather is. You have a driveway or a parking lot, a sidewalk, a street that's not too busy. Go ahead, lay it out. And then start training the actions you want to be able to do precisely. That's not the same thing as the actual footwork that you do in a fight. Because every bit of footwork, every step, is a combination of actions. The on guard is, if I'm lunging, I have my weight back here. I kick my foot forward, right, and then I push through this leg. So that's 2 actions. Well, this is airborne. I push through the leg. So that's 2 actions. There's the kick, which is why I like this one. 1, 2, 1, kick, 1, 2, 1, kick. It's training moving my leg out to the side, which is that actual action, and in varying distances, so that I can adjust the range of my lunge. There are other things to do to train that extension. Squat jumps. In general, you want your hips to be level. Whatever your feet are doing, You want your hips up to be level. You want your elbows up and out of the way. Because if I'm throwing a shot, heavy fighting, boom, lunging, boom, and my hips are bouncing up and down, everything else is bouncing up and down, I'm not hitting what I'm aiming at. How do you make sure that your hips are level? No idea. And then I went too fast and I splashed. Just, it's a useful training tool, not just a teaching tool. So I think that's all of the notes. So let's go through some of the patterns. I've already demonstrated straight up 1, 1, 1, 2, BP, Y, Y. That is moving your feet as quickly as you can, precisely. Not quite running in place, but running in place with a minimal shift in foot position to get you used to the idea that not every step is. Which, in our mundane world, every step is. It's how fast can I get there? On the fighting field, 6 inches, 3 inches is the difference between a win and a loss. So you need to be able to step 3 inches. So you need to practice stepping 3 inches. That's 2 in each box for the 3 inches. You also need to be able to move laterally. So 1, 2. Started on the wrong foot again. See, going to the right, you always want to move your right foot out first, but that means that, you know, if I start on my left, my right foot comes down, my left is the next one to move, it's going to move the wrong way. So, boom, 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 ba, ba, ba. And that's training that very small precise foot placement, going side to side and forward and back. So I covered the rapier heads, that piece. Lateral agility, if these are a dance step grapevine. If I'm here, I step to, right foot goes to 2, left foot comes to 2, right foot goes to 3, and close. And then right foot to C, B, B, A. And that's crossing behind. I also cross in front. I generally do that on a larger field, so I have more motion side to side. But if you don't have any space to really expand your actions, there you go.